welcome back. Week 9, Ohio State versus UIC, Game 2.
Should be a really good second game.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for this one. We see the Anivia had been swapped off. Oh, don't mind that. What was it? One of the big things is they don't really tell you when a guy reconnects on stream, so it normally looks like they disconnect and leave without him. It's confusing, I know.
It's a little odd, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I love the odds on this, Zach. Oh, we should talk about team comps real quick. All right, so looks like Z and Delta is picking up that Gnar again. I love the eyes not picking up the Zach Tadungi.
Stole the Anivia pick.
The Anivia. There you go. Where's Osama? Still sitting on that Caitlyn. Really solid pick. Teddy Eddie now picking up the Morgana in exchange. So that's actually a really
dare to defy on the Swain. Let's see it.
Let's go, boy. With Arun now picking up the Camille in the top lane. McDougal playing the Bug Skarner in the jungle. Remind me, Remy now on Varus and Bacon Seeker picking up the heavy Alistair for OSU.
All right, real quick, what team do you think has won this right off the bat?
Just looking at draft phase, I think OSU has this. I mean, look,
yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, the amount of pick potential that they have, and from what I know of McDougal being able to apply a lot of pressure in lane, I think that they actually have a really good team comp here. Because they will lock one person in place and not let them ever get out.
I mean, the big thing I was thinking was, first off, I was thinking you're wrong because I was actually looking at the wrong champions. The second thing I was thinking, the second thing I was thinking was you've got these very strong picks coming in. You've got a very tanky team overall.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Camille's probably the squishiest champion on that team besides Varus, the top laner, and that's something weird to say. You got a very aggressive pick in the Swain. You got the Alistar,
and like all of them can contribute to this idea of like taking one person out and keeping the rest of the team away. Like, yeah, because you've got Camille, right, that can lock somebody into one place and make sure that the rest of the team can just gang up on them. Skarner didn't be able to initiate that. Bacon Seeker, who can lock anybody out that jumps in.
What you're saying is there's a lot of gank potential and easy time for them to snowball in the mid game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if they're able to orchestrate correctly. On the other hand, there is a lot of counter engage that is still available for UIC. So, I mean, they do nice route coming out there for Teddy Eddie. Will not be able to quite finish off, remind me, Remy. Where is Osama trying to do a little bit more damage there? Now that we'll find it.
A lot of action coming in from all three lanes at the same time. That's what I like to see. I mean, the camera doesn't really care for it, but you know, it's very enjoyable, I guess, to see games where there's a lot of action, a lot of trading.
Yeah, sadly we're not able to show you everything all at once, folks, but being able to at least know that that's going on, I mean, these teams are both being very proactive and know what's at stake here. Ooh, it looks like Z and Delta. We should mention that, isn't this this is for a playoff spot, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. April 4th will be the commencement of semifinals here, going in quarterfinals. Yep. So excited. Finishing off the second spring season here for ACEL. So these teams do have a lot at stake here. Man, I love the amount of harass that UIC has available for themselves, though. Even with OSU, with Bacon Seeker, being able to kind of heal up a little bit of that. Teddy Eddie is being so aggressive and trying to make sure that Remind Me Remy isn't really able to farm very safely. Like, if he walks forward, there's going to be a pool underneath him.
Yeah, I think, honestly, at this point he should back. He's completely burned himself out of mana, completely burned himself out of health. He needs to get going soon before he gets denied a full wave for his staying too long.
Yeah, I mean, whereas Osama still has a large amount of mana available, So
and a sizable CS lead too.
Grabs.
Yeah, I definitely think so. There's nothing that he can really do at this point, and so he needs to find a way to back conveniently without losing too much CS right now.
Right. Right now, I'm not entirely sure if there's a way for them to shove the lane out, which is a little bit of the problem. Oh, there is a lot of damage coming out of Dare to Defy going on to Dudungi. Should we really call that lane harass when you take away half of your opponent's health?
I mean, it depends on how frequently you do it.
Right. Oh, I love thighs. Just taken off right there from Dot. Doesn't look like McDougal even cared whether or not he was there. They are establishing a lot of aggressive vision, though, on the bot side. And McDougal, even that small ward on the top side, they've been really trying to find out exactly where I Love Thighs is and trying to lock down where they need to be ganking next.
I think that you're probably going to find the best luck in the mid lane or the bot lane. Or not mid lane, the top lane or bot lane. The Camille is scary. Camille you really need to work with. She's got some of the best jungle assistants in the game. Best catch-up power.
Yeah.
And while bot is going to be... Oh, another trade coming in there. While mid is going to be a really good lane to gank because of the CC, that relies on him getting really close to Anivia, and past level 6, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that, you know, there's potential to do it in an Alistar lane, but, you know, you also deal with Morg, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't have high hopes for either of those lanes to really... I mean, McDougal's does, though.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. McDougal will end up picking up a kill for the side of UIC onto Teddy Eddie. Will use the Impale to get cleanse that person. Doesn't even actually have to use that. Bacon Secret win and
not even level 6 yet, to be fair. So,
hey, good question. What marker are you at?
720.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I think the big thing though was Teddy Eddie threw his Black Shield way too early. As soon as he put it on Caitlyn, it was like, hey, I'm here. I'm not spell shielded. I've used it already. Hit me instead. And so...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really, I think it was probably a really good move trying to protect Osama there. Making sure that they didn't get a kill onto him. That way at least he could stay in lane and continue pushing a little bit.
I mean, the big thing though was that, you know, they weren't in range to engage on them quite yet. Until McDougal came in and slowed the Morgana. If Morgana didn't have this... If Morgana had the spell shield on her, she would have both survived and the initial slow, and she would not have got knocked up by the Alistar, and that's really important.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Hey, by the way, what is your timestamp right now?
820.
Cool, perfect, me too. All right, cool. Wanted to be able to make sure that we were synced up there a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what happens though when you have your bot lane shoved up so far and you've got that Skarner. There is an ever-present threat that Skarner is just going to sweep in there and be able to lock somebody in place, and they're not going to get out.
Yeah. I mean, another thing though is that she has this binding. She needs to... Oh. That was a good binding.
Yeah, definitely very good binding.
But
I mean, max range binding.
Back on topic though, like, you know, you have a lot of CC and gank prevention with Morgana, and you have Caitlyn who needs to push up. So, you know, they're doing good at abusing that. They just need to, you know, not be so scared of this. I think a big thing is they're coming in with a little tilt from the last game, and so they have to manage that if they want to come in and win this game.
Right, exactly. I mean, like, tempering the aggression that you've got in lane is really important. I mean, yeah, it's really good, especially for a Caitlyn Morgana lane to be trying to be in your opponent's face, but not being able to keep consistent vision and working with your jungler is really dangerous if that's what you're doing.
Yeah. And if you're playing a champion like Caitlyn, you have to push in. You have to deny the CS. That's just how you win this lane. That's just your win condition. So you need to be able to play aggressively all the time. but do it in such a way that you're not opening yourself up to constantly getting killed by the opponent or getting poked down.
Yeah, exactly. That will actually be a pickaxe and a recurve bow picked up there for Remind Me Remy, building towards that Ginsu's, being able to pick up that spike. That's going to be a really dangerous point for Where's Osama if he's actually able to pick that up before Where's Osama is able to complete that Infinity Edge.
And on the blue side, we also have the incredible damage power spike coming in for Anivia with her her catalyst and her tier. You can see all the damage coming in from her 0 damage items.
It's terrifying. I mean, even Defy can't really do a whole lot if he gets got out. I mean, even though Dare to Defy is doing a lot of damage, if he can get through his full rotation, if he's the one being turned on, there's not a whole lot he can do about it.
Yeah, if Zach comes in, this is strange. He's building a Rod of Ages. I think that the correct build for him at this point would probably be Abyssal Mask.
The correct build for Dare to Defy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, especially because you're working with Remind Me Remy, who is going to have a decent amount of AP built in already. And so anybody that, and I mean, with Swain's new kit now, you're trying to be in the middle of the fight. You're trying to make yourself as close to a lot of those champions as possible. Ooh, I love Thighs. Diving right in on Remind Me Remy. Takes a lot of damage. Where's Osama picking up that kill? Now they're chasing down, looking through to finish off Bacon Seeker. He will pick that up too. That is 2 kills going over the side of UIC.
I think instead of MR, they should probably start buying armor. Caitlyn is going to be, sadly, a little more relevant than most players would like her to be in this upcoming late game.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be doing a lot of damage. And it's just because right now the items that are available are perfect for her. Ooh, Zian Delta looks like he's being poked a little bit harder than he wants to be. And that is a Merc Crate. Mountain Crate going over to UIC. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure MR or armor is going to be the way to go for everybody. They're going to want some of that available, but I don't know. There's still a lot of magic damage threat that is filling up the rest of UIC's roster. Ooh, McDougal.
Coming in for the gank.
Flash engage onto Tsugi. The Impale will find its mark. Now you got Dare to Defy popping the ultimate. Trying to do a lot of damage. I Love Size will go very low. There is the passive for Tadungi. Anivia getting the egg cracked. Will go down. A nice scramble for OSU.
Not get Zach though. Although Zach and Morgana. I was hoping they would go in for the return kill, but I don't think they had the cooldowns. I know they recognize that, so.
Yeah. I mean, they really wanted it. Ooh, Zian Delta, though, going a little bit too far ahead of his team. Will be able to get the bounce with the assist of Teddy Eddy, getting his teammate out of there. A really well-timed Black Shield, too.
I think Arin and Dare to Defy are really showing up in this game.
I absolutely agree. That was a really good play. They could have, they were so close to being able to spill Zian Delta all over that mid lane.
Yeah, that would have been mid tower for them right there. I think they're gonna have to wait a little longer to get that though.
Yeah, ooh, the binding will not find its mark here for Teddy Eddy on the bot side. They're looking for a little bit more blood here. Trying to take out Remind Me Remy. This bot side is definitely where UIC is looking to shine though. Yeah. Ooh, I love
gank coming in.
Holding there will not end up finding anybody jumping. The 3 members of OSU now going very low. Does not.
Teleport's canceled.
teleport to the top lane canceled. There is the root onto where is Osama flash over the wall. There's the shield coming out. Teddy Eddie now trying everything he can to prevent his laner from dying. Bacon Seeker soaking up a few of those tower shots. We'll have to back off. Remind me, Remy doesn't want to give this up though. Going golden for Teddy Eddie will save himself a little bit of trouble. Remind me, Remy though, still surviving with a little bit of health left.
They see that Anivia is going to be coming down, so they want to back off right now. I think a big thing with that fight was that the teleport was canceled for Delta, and if he didn't cancel it, they wouldn't have been like, oh, we can flash on Caitlyn, we can kill her. You might have lost some CS and experience in the top lane, but knowing that teleport, which is a 300-second cooldown, is down is huge, especially when you've got a gank that you turned around.
Right, that one's going to be up for, that one's going to be down for the next 190 seconds, I believe, because canceling teleport now.
No, they haven't done that in a while. There's no cancel bonus anymore.
Oh, there's no cancel bonus anymore? Wow.
Nope.
How long? Wow.
Well, back to 300 seconds.
Yikes. That's even more punishing. Yeah, no, I mean, he should have probably just completed that and gone down to the bot lane. I think at that point he might have, I don't know if it was a call from the rest of his team or if it was his own personal call to cancel that. But he's taken a lot of damage. Arun throws the Gnar backwards. The Impale comes through onto ZN Delta, and there is the prison from Arun.
That comes in, it's a little too late.
Yeah. Oh, flash of the wall from I Love Thighs, followed by the Blast Cone. Will get himself to a little bit of safety. Arun doesn't want to give this up without a fight. That passive's still not up for I Love Thighs. Ooh, the ultimate there from Remind Me Remy will not find anybody. Caught up by the Morgana binding. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do have Zoomy using the flash to try to get out. McDougal looking for some blood. Dare to Defy picking up the kill for OSU. That's a lot of damage all at once, or that's a lot of action all at once.
And honestly, at the center of all of that fighting has to be McDougal. Was he? Yeah, he's got 100% kill participation right now, which is really good for any jungler.
Everywhere that McDougal goes, violence follows. That is kind of what happens.
I think that's fair to say.
You know what? I think I found a new nickname for him. McDougal the Harbinger of Death.
Alright. I almost cut myself on that edge. You really need to tone it down a little. Hey, it's a scary Skarner, but
what can I say? I'm a Zed main. Alright, well hey, looking back here to the bot side, they're cleaning up a little bit of things.
You're a Zed main? I thought we were friends.
We are. I hope so.
I can't be friends with Zed mains.
Aww.
Same thing with Zac mains. They always come in for ganks like this. You gotta be careful for those kind of players.
You know, I don't think that he's going to be able to pull it off again. I Love Thighs is still looking for that same engage, and he hasn't been able to find it just yet. By now, it's like OSU is getting a little bit smart on that.
Yeah, it's an Alistar and a Varus. You're going to be hard-pressed to find any sort of engage on that. Especially because Alistar, if you're quick enough, you can knock him out in the middle of...
Delta will
okay, that's a lot of bursts.
X-Tech Ultimatum gonna end up finding him out there. Yeah, that hurts.
I was thinking, I was like, okay, he's gonna knock him down to like 200, 300, he'll still get the kill. No, he knocked him down for 500.
Oh yeah. On the bot lane, there is a kill going over to, actually 2 kills, going over to UIC. Zach trying to bring Bacon Seeker back. Doesn't end up doing anything for himself though. Where is Osama being left open? There is the Zach passive. Not a whole lot of use here though. We'll end up going down now to Remind Me Remy and Bacon Seeker, picking up those little bloblets.
Well, let's flame McDougal. He doesn't have 100% kill participation anymore.
Alright, McDougal, you've lost your nickname. I'm sorry.
You've lost your touch. Washed up jungler.
It's time to happen to somebody over the course of one game. Yeah, you know what? I think there with UIC, they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves, right? They're not setting up properly in lanes. for the ganks that they're trying to pull off. I Love Thighs still looking for the same openings that he's tried 3 times. Been able to pull off once, but the second time didn't work out for him. Don't know why he still keeps going for the same ones over again.
I think at this point they expect him to be bottom, so they're just like dedicating their resources. They'll be like, all right, we'll save the TP, we'll save whatever. And yeah. I think that focusing on top is probably OSU's best move right now because they're allowing Camille to have free reign of her side of the map, and that's going to be important. She's going to come in for these CPs, and she's probably a scarier force than McDougal at this point. Like, alright, I take it back. You're not washed up. I'm sorry, man, but at the same time, Camille's just going to be a scarier gank tool.
Ooh, speaking of ganks, actually, it has nothing to do with that. Zian Delta did die in the river. Being brought down by Bacon Seeker, remind me, Remy, and believe Arun was in on that action. Oh, Dare to Defy, bringing him down.
All right,
and it's okay.
What do you think of New Swain coming in to secure all these kills with his W?
I like it. I think it's clever. I think it's good. I'm glad that he's getting some use out of that W. Because when it first came out, I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be a little bit useless. Ooh, there is the pull onto I Love Thighs, ends up going down without that passive again. Bacon Seeker picks up the kill for himself. A little bit of self-love for that support.
Hey, the support's got to take all the kills. How's he going to buy the support items if he doesn't have gold?
See, and this is what we were talking about. We were talking about how strong this pick comp was going to be, right? They rush in, they find one member, Identify pulls them, or they get caught up, and the next thing you know, McDougal's rushing in without a tail. Ooh, Bacon Seeker brought so low by Where's Osama, who will end up paying for it with his life. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do have a kill going over onto Arun, while the Baron is taken for OSU.
I was kind of confused how that happened there. I think that a big thing is, you know, OSU pulled the same thing that UIC did last game, where they just didn't respect the Anivia, and so she just came out and pretty much had that 100 O potential, and no one was expecting it.
Yeah, Arun, because Arun was sieging on the mid tower, and didn't expect Kaduki to be able to just sit on him and blow him up. So even with that. Even with Camille passive, there wasn't enough of a shield for him to actually be able to protect himself. So
that's fair to say.
Yeah, not sure if he was expecting that much damage from that at all. But I mean, that does mean that there was a Baron taken. Ooh, and a Rift Herald being launched here. A little bit late by the
Speaking of Baron, though, I want to talk about Bacon Seeker's play right there. One thing I noticed was he got caught out and almost killed. And I want to applaud Bacon Seeker because he used that. He was like, well, I'm dead. So he flashed in, he initiated, and he set up for his team to take so many kills off of that, as well as the Baron.
Yeah. I mean, see, it pays to be a selfless support. And especially when you know you're going to die as a support, it's really good to just, like, you know what, get in, use all of your cooldowns while you can. You might as well take what you've got, or take what you've got available. So...
yeah, he did a very good job of that. That was very clean.
MVP, Bacon Seeker, you got it. Alright, well, let's see. Now it is up to UIC to clear out these minions, try to get, make some room for themselves. See if they can clean up a little bit around their base before OSU inevitably tries to charge in again and pick somebody off.
What do you think the win condition is for UIC at this point? Because I'm not seeing one at this point. Like, you have Baron and you have 2 lanes that are very strong. You've got one lane that's moderately strong in this Swain who's coming out. He's picking up kills left and right, pulling Delta back.
Yeah, I mean, Delta going down on the tower like that, it's looking pretty shady to them. Where is Osama? Picking up a kill on Arun, however, will end up being taken out by the combined forces of 3 tanks from OSU. McDougal not ready to get this up without a fight. Will rush underneath the turret, not finding anything for himself. But they will continue the assault on mid lane. Lots of damage coming up from Tadungi. Again, using that zoning potential, but
Remy's taking a hit.
Remy. He is not caring at all, just going 100% destructo on that bot lane, that bot side.
All right, but as I was saying before, I don't think the win condition is there anymore. You've got, even though they're pick champions, they have like they're so fed that they can function in these team fights very well. So they will be able to do that. They'll be sieged down, but even in these solo lanes, they can't like stop the solo lanes from pushing either because these.
Okay, so
go ahead.
See, I do think that the win condition still exists though. Like, I still think there is a way for UIC if, okay, so in a situation, they do have the Caitlyn available, right? They do have Tadungi on the Anivia. They have ways to be able to keep OSU away from their carries. They have some disengage available with the Gnar being able to throw people back. But what I'm saying, I guess, is if UIC is able to keep out the siege of OSU long enough to chunk them down and then pick off one or two key members with I Love Thighs, they should be able to create openings for themselves, right? Because they essentially have a lower functioning version of the comp that OSU has drafted.
I mean, I think that it's mostly all their pick potential is in their team fight. So I guess I see what you're saying in that.
Right.
But that relies on them stalling.
Later, but yeah.
And that relies on them stalling. It's just I can't really. Okay, they've got the Caitlyn traps. All right, I can see how now.
Right. Like, and that is I mean, you need everybody to be hitting on 100, right? Teddy Eddie needs to be hitting those bindings. You need those Caitlyn traps to be placed in very good spots.
And at the same time, Baron's down, so I thought Baron was still up. If Baron was still up, this inhib would be falling without any sort of competition. There's no way to really contest it.
Right now, though, it looks like Tadungi trying to find a little bit of action there, making secret diving to the front side. Not even worrying about the damage dealers from UIC. Scared to 5, picking up that kill onto Tadungi. Oh, looks like he will flash the backside.
Coming in.
The support from UIC hits that. Zonia's will make himself go golden there for a second. And picking up the quadra kill for OSU. This is game. OSU takes game 2. Oh, wow. All right, well, we're talking about again, they weren't able to pull that off. A well-fought game for OSU, being able to find the openings that they needed to take out the key members they needed along the way and make room for themselves to dive into that base and crack that open.